Hi everyone and welcome back. I hope you're doing great and today we have a lesson on words that often confused. Watch the video and do the homework. There are many words in the English language that are easily confused because they have a similar spelling or a related but different meaning. As adjectives, the difference between elderly and old is that elderly is old, having lived for relatively many years, while old is of an object, concept, relationship, etc., having existed for a relatively long period of time. As nouns, the difference between elderly and old is that elderly is an elderly person, while old is people who are old beings the older generation usually used with them. Using elderly is a more polite and sensitive way to address an aging population. Adolescence, the period of time in a person's life when they are developing into an adult. She had a troubled adolescence. He struggled through his adolescence. Adulthood. This is the part of someone's life when they are an adult. People in England legally reach adulthood at 18. Responsibility, I suppose, is what defines adulthood. As nouns, the difference between habit and tradition is that habit is an action done on a regular basis, while tradition is a part of culture that is passed from person to person or generation to generation, possibly differing in detail from family to family, such as the way to celebrate holidays. Marriage refers to the relationship, the long-term sharing of two lives. And wedding refers to the specific ceremony that unites two people in marriage. And the examples. They had a long and happy marriage. Do you know the date of Caroline and Matthew's wedding? Brain is the organ inside the head that controls thought, memory, feelings, and activity. Doctors tried desperately to reduce the swelling in her brain. His wife died from a brain tumor. Mind is the part of a person that makes it possible for him or her to think, feel emotions, and understand things. Her mind was full of what had happened the night before and she just wasn't concentrating. Of course, I'm telling the truth. You have such a suspicious mind. The difference between remember and remind. If we remember someone or something, we keep that person or thing in our mind, or we bring that person or thing back to our mind. For example, I will always remember you. You have helped me so much. Suddenly, I remembered that I had promised to ring my mother. If a person or thing reminds you of someone or something, they make you think of that person or thing, or they resemble that person or thing. That song always reminds me of the time I fell in love with an Italian girl. Jason reminded me of my father. They had the same eyes and the same way of talking. Forget and overlook. To forget means to be unable to remember a fact, something that happened, or how to do something. For example, I am sorry I have forgotten your name, or let me write down the date before I forget it. Overlook means to fail to notice or consider something or someone. I think there is one key fact that you have overlooked. No one will be overlooked when we select players for the team. Imagination and intelligence. Imagination is the ability to form pictures in the mind. For example, my younger son has a very vivid imagination. I can never make up stories. I have absolutely no imagination. Intelligence is the ability to learn, understand, and make judgments or have opinions that are based on reason. For example, an intelligence test is the intelligence of her writing that impresses me. Sense is an ability to understand, recognize, value, or react to something, especially any of the 5 physical abilities to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. For example, with her excellent sense of smell, she could tell if you were a smoker from the other side of the room. My cold is so bad I have lost my sense of smell or taste. Sensation is the ability to feel something physically, especially by touching, or a physical feeling that results from this ability. For example, a burning sensation or the disease causes a loss of sensation in the fingers. Knowledge and skill. Knowledge is understanding of or information about the subject that you get by experience or study, either known by one person or by people generally. For example, her knowledge of English grammar is very extensive. He has a limited knowledge of French. And skill. Skill is an ability to do an activity or a job well, especially because you have practiced it. Ruth had great writing skills. Your homework from students' books, page 76, exercise 3, and page 104, exercise 2. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.